Is your goal this year to get your sewing room organized?
Well, we're gonna help you with that.
Hi, it's Fran Morgan.
And Hannah with Fabric Cafe.
It's that time of year where we're motivated to be more organized.
And we got so many great ideas from all of you on our last organization video, so we're going to share some of our favorites with you today.
So let's get started. So our first tip came from a viewer. Her name is Cindy, and we thought this was such a great idea. What she does is she takes her patterns. So we have our arcade pattern here, which by the way is one of our new patterns.
That's true.
It is wonderful. So if you haven't seen that, be sure and check out the video on those 5 new patterns. So we have our arcade pattern, and what Cindy does is she takes her patterns and she puts it in one of these plastic sleeves, like the page protector sleeves that would go in a notebook. And then she uses a dry erase marker to actually mark what she's done and where she is. I think this is brilliant. I love this idea. And you know, Cindy, I want to tell you, and all of you out there as well, of course, I usually take my pattern and tape it to the wall or tack it to the wall.
Yes, I do that too.
But now I'm just going to put one of these page protectors, these plastic sleeves on the wall, and then I can just switch them out that way.
Oh, that's so, and then you can just switch it.
Yes, it's so smart.
That's so smart.
But let me show you how this works. So as you're cutting, she can just go through and check it like this, like I've done that one, or you cross it off, whatever works for you, whatever your method is. And then you know that you've done that, and then you can just go down the next and the next. And the same way with these. Once you've done step 1, just go done. Then when you're all finished and you have your beautiful quilt top, you can just go back with a dry erase marker. Ta-da! It is like magic. I love this idea.
I do too, because I really like marking up my patterns. I've started doing it more and more, especially if you're tweaking anything just a little bit, like adding a fabric.
Yes.
You can make these notes on here, but your pattern stays nice and fresh.
I know. And so next time you make it, if you're switching up your fabric positions or something, then you can make those notes at that time. And the other thing I really like about this, you know, I think I've mentioned before in a video where I use a Post-it note to see what row I'm on whenever I'm putting it together. This way, you know what I could do? I could actually go in here and do this.
Oh, that's so cool.
This is such a great idea. So Cindy, thank you so much for sharing with us. And guys, this is a super idea.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm going to start implementing this. It's just magic.
I'm just going to draw on it so that I can.
You can draw. Maybe you want to do embroidery. You can make little marks.
Hey, and
it might be difficult.
Multicolored pens for different things. That would be fun too. Okay, we can take this a long way.
Forever. So another organization idea on preparing for your project, because you know, you go to the store, you buy your fabric, you see something that you just love, and you know exactly what you want to do with it right then. But if it sits for too long, when you come back to it, you don't remember what you wanted to do with it anymore.
What was I thinking?
Yeah, we've had a lot of people tell us that. So we have some ideas for you on how to do that to keep it organized. So here's one way. We just took our kit and we took the pattern that we wanted to use with it and we stuck it together in a Ziploc bag. This is a nice way, I think, if you have limited space. It doesn't take up that much room. You can even lay them flat or you can lay them vertically.
Like in a basket or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that can be pretty concise.
Okay.
Or if you have bins you want to put it in, or maybe decorative bins, you could do like baskets.
Yeah.
We just stuck, here's another one, our kit with our pattern.
Perfect.
Sometimes you might not have like a paper copy. You might have a book that you want to use it from. Well, you could just take you an index card, and I just wrote the pattern that I was using for this, and then I wrote what book it was from. So that way I would remember, oh, okay, go get my book here, because
that's such a great idea.
This doesn't fit a book.
And you know, well, the bag would, and so that would work.
That's
if you had
true.
Your book. But I also think it would be great because I'm forever wanting to start a project, then I find out I don't have the color thread I need. I think this would be really good if you have your thread and you could toss it in there with it. Or maybe even take a snapshot of this so that you can take it to the store because you forgot the white thread again, which is what I do. I just think it would be really helpful. And as you're working, you could actually put your pieces back in here if you needed to store it.
That's true.
So,
it could be an in-between place as well.
So our next tips are all about finding things and staying clean in our sewing rooms. So that's really important. Now, one of the, I'm going to say this is a pet peeve of mine, okay? We buy these fabulous machines. We buy these great irons that do super jobs for us. And there's all these other pieces of equipment that we have. And then something happens and your machine does something really wacky and you gotta fix it and you gotta go find that organizational, that manual, and it's not in the same place. So I know, I've experienced this firsthand, so I'm feeling the pain here, and this is definitely something I need to do.
Where is it? That's the biggest question always.
It is so smart to just get you a binder, get some more of these page protectors, these pockets, and divider. So here we have our sewing machine divider. We've alphabetized this so everything is easy to find. And here's our Bernina manual so that if this particular machine has an issue, we know right where it is.
You can immediately go get it.
Oh my goodness. So I have done this so many times. It's like, where is that? And you're going everywhere and it takes all this time and you can't find it. And you don't know what to search for online.
Yeah,
ever.
exactly. And you put it exactly where you would remember, right?
Right.
But you never do.
You never do. So this is a great way to do it. Just keep it all in one binder. And of course we have our iron manual, which is also very important because I've had issues with my irons before. And so you need to know, okay, can I do it this way or how do I clean this? Or you know. And it's such a perfect way to just keep it all organized. So I love this tip. They're all together. And I'll remember where this is on the shelf.
It's so handy to
Yes.
Perfect. Well, Susan offered us another organization method or cleaning method. You know, you're always picking up little scraps of fabric that are too small for you to really do anything with, or threads or whatever. Well, she said she uses large Sonic cups next to her cutting station. Which I think you could also use it next to your sewing station.
Yes.
And that's where she drops all of her little fabric scraps and pieces of thread. And then it's easy to just pick it up and go dump it into the trash.
That's a great idea. Absolutely. Okay, so I have a fur baby. I have a kitty. And if those threads get on the floor, they are everywhere in the house because he lays down next to me. He wants to be in the same room with me. Then he gets up. They're stuck to him. He walks in the other room. They're everywhere. This would take care of that.
No more traveling threads.
Oh, my goodness. Great idea, Susan. Love it.
And you get to have a nice drink before you make your little trash receptacle.
Even better. Okay, so our next part is about organizing thread and bobbins and all of those things. And, you know, it's always just frustrating whenever the thread is just all over the place and it gets tangled and it's just a mess. So we have a few really clever things that we're going to share with you. First is our mason jar pincushion. Now, this is darling, and I love this, because you can store all kinds of things in this. I mean, we have some of our bobbins in here, but you could do your sewing needle packages. You could do whatever you have, buttons. That's right, which is great. And this is super simple to make. So just real quick, we're going to go through it. The first thing you're going to need is a mason jar. Now, you also need a mason jar that has one of these split lids where these two pieces come apart. So this reminds me of a kid because my mom used these for canning when we were little all the time. So very familiar with these, and these are very readily available.
Oh, yeah.
So not a problem.
And you could get whatever size you want, too. They come in a variety of sizes, too.
That's
so
right.
Whatever your space is.
That's right. Okay. Then we're going to need a little square of fabric, a little bit of polyfill, fiber fill, and then a little piece of cardboard. So what we're going to do is I would use this little ring from your mason jar as the pattern. Just draw it on the cardboard, and then you could cut out a little piece of cardboard. We're going to use this to anchor the pincushion in place. So set that aside. So after that's done, then we're going to take our piece of fabric, and let me grab this. We're going to basically, what we're going to be doing is wrapping it around the back of the top of the flat part of the lid here. And as we do that, now you can do a running stitch around the outside, you can use a glue gun, whatever works for you that makes it easier. But we're just going to basically start kind of folding this, and I'm going to show you just a general way. We're going to take our fiber fill, we're going to put it on top of the flat piece of the jar, under the fabric, And I'm just going to stuff that in. And then you're going to glue it down, or like I said, do a running stitch, whatever you prefer. Then we're going to take our ring and we're going to poke this up in here, just like so. See?
What a perfect fabric for it too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, it looks like little heads on the pins. All right, then you're going to glue your cardboard to the back and secure it. So that's going to then just screw on top of your lid and of your jar. And then you've got all your pins can be in there and all your goodies in there. Super cute, super
perfect.
fun. You can see it's kind of fast.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I'm a fan of any job I can do with a hot glue gun.
Yeah, it's really fun. And this is a cute scrap. Oh, great way to use your scrap fabric too.
Yeah. And you can make all sorts of them. You can make them into various different sizes. So you can have a pin cushion at whatever station you're at that time.
And this would be a really cute gift for your guild members or
Oh,
something
that's
like
so
that.
true.
That would be so fun to put little pins in it like we have.
Oh, that's adorable.
So fun, so
I
fun.
love that idea.
Yeah.
Well, we have a suggestion from Rosie, and this is such a cute suggestion. How she organizes her bobbins. She has chopsticks, and she puts them inside spools. If you had a smaller chopstick, you could do it in a smaller spool. These are some actually decorative ones that I have from home, so they're a little bit thick, but it works so cute. You just slide your little bobbins on there and keep them up in a container.
That is such a cute idea. You know,
them out of the way.
I even think this would be really cute on a shelf, just as like in your sewing room as a decoration.
Oh, that's true.
I just think it's darling.
You can even put them in like maybe a little planter
jar.
or something.
I love that idea.
To make it a little decoration.
Yeah, it's super cute.
That is so
Thank you for
cute.
sharing with us.
Yes,
love
that.
Okay, and we have another tip here that was shared with us, which we love. Okay, so we have a typical spool of thread here, and this is a golf tee. So this was very clever. So I love these normally not used in sewing rooms things that we're using. We're bringing in a golf tee. So if your husband golfs, you know, then you can just slip this on the inside of the thread spool right through the hole. Then you can put your bobbin on top. And then what you can do is just get a rubber band. Now let me see if I can do this well here. And we're going to rubber band the bobbin right on top.
So that's a great way to keep your bobbin, your matching bobbin and thread spool together so that you can just and grab it.
It's perfect. It's very, very easy. And how clever. And all these things are probably things you have in your house already, which is great.
And you know, this would be really good too for a quilt retreat, because if you're packing all of your things for a quilt retreat, you need blue thread for your quilt. Well, I got my golf tee. Just grab it. Grab it and go.
Love it. That's a great idea.
So let's look at some ways for fabric organization, because you know, we're getting more fabric. Our stash is growing. I know mine has considerably the last year.
Me too.
So, you know, we need to find ways to keep it neat and tidy and accessible and convenient.
Yes, of course.
So Cheryl shared with us an idea that I think is so cute. She gets those storage containers for CDs, you know, the ones that have little mini shelves. And she uses that for her fat quarters. So she'll like take a little fat quarter and she'll just boop, right into the CD slot.
That is so clever.
Isn't that awesome?
Cheryl, you're so smart.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And there's so many different types of them too. I was looking online and they've got like tall metal shelves. They've got pretty cool ones that are like asymmetrical. So I didn't know there was such a market for these anymore, but it's such a creative use. I love that.
That's pretty handy. So I can definitely see that. And I love this idea too, because I like to see them visually so that I can go through and pick them out. And I would organize them by color on the shelf.
Yeah.
Just so that I could say, oh, there's a pink one. Yep. That's good.
Perfect.
So our next tip, which I really like as well, is to organize your scraps. So sometimes scraps are smaller. They're too big to toss out. I get it. Too small to maybe put on a shelf like that because it's not super convenient. So our idea is to take them, fold them over one of these hanging file folders and clip them. So here you say, this is a great fabric here that's a strip. It's still usable, so we can put it in a scrap quilt, but they're a little small to be able to put on a shelf. So we've just folded them over with some of our other greens that we have. These are scraps and leftovers, and then put our little map clip on there to hold it. Now, these can just go in a basket. They can go, if you have a file cabinet in your sewing room, that would be great. I don't have one. I have like a little mesh box that's like a little file box, I guess, that I've used. And I think this is a great idea. So we have our green on our green folder, blue on our blue folder. Very convenient. Now let me just kind of show you exactly what we've done. So I'm going to scoot these over. So here we have our orange folder, and we have some orange scraps. So you see here we've just kind of folded them up so that they're a nice size to fit on the file folder. And then we're just going to drape them over like this. And then just to hold them in place, we're going to get our map clip just like that. It's so very simple.
So easy.
And two, I think it's cool because you can just kind of flip through them when they're in the file drawer or in the basket, so that you can really see what's available. And if I had a whole lot of orange, I would do multiple orange cards. And if I had a whole lot of green, I would do multiple green cards.
Yeah. And it's awesome because if you need just that one color, I just need one blue piece. Well, just go to your blue file card.
I love it. I love it. So great idea. This is very handy, very organization friendly.
Oh yeah. And if you wanted to zhuzh it up even more, you could get colored map clips.
Ooh.
Are these called map clips? Because that's what I call them, and I'm not sure everyone in this world calls them that. What do you call these clips?
Yeah, alligator clips, map clips. I don't know. Clippy clip clips.
Thank you so much to everyone who gave us your ideas on organization. I love hearing all of the new ideas. It's awesome for me.
Oh, it's great. And if you have any additional ones that we didn't cover here, please be sure and put them in the comments.
Yeah.
We love hearing them. We get so many great ideas from you.
Things that we'll use for ourselves.
Yes.
Now, if you would like to see even more organization ideas, then be sure to watch the video that pops up.
It's Fran Morgan
And Hannah with Fabric Cafe.
Happy organizing.